Don't worry, Ryan Johnson. Nobody's even seen a second of your Star Wars movie that you made, and already you've got 3 more that you're responsible for. No pressure. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It's the 8th movie in the Skywalker saga. You have to distinguish that now that there are other Star Wars movies coming out. What a wonderful world we live in. This one brings back Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren and all the other Star Wars characters you know and love, and that is a lot of pressure. Does it live up? Well, here's 5 things you might want to know about The Last Jedi. I don't mind spilling the beans right off the bat. I loved this movie. Ryan Johnson did amazing. I mean, it's not perfect. We'll get there. Let's talk about all of it. First, let's talk about expectations. Yeah, the weight of your expectations may crush you. I guess this is personal experience. When I go into a Star Wars movie, I have to be so aware of what I'm expecting, what my fandom wants versus the story that they want to tell me. And really here, Ryan Johnson seems to be subverting a lot of our expectations. He seems to be coming to us and going, you know what? I'm going to take the expectations you have about what a Star Wars movie is, what it looks like, what happens, and I am going to use that against you. And when I say against you, I mean for you, to tell you a different kind of story. Now, the reason I give this a caution is it could feel a little different to you. For me, I loved that. I loved the way he used our expectations to influence the way he made the movie. And I think overall that was a good choice. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff before we get to the little bit of bad at the end. Here's the first thing. Man, does he tell a good story here. Here's what I love. Let me say this. He understands how to both tell us a big story and also pay attention to all the small stories. He's telling us this overarching tale of what's going on with the Rebel Alliance and the First Order and kind of the big picture of this war. You get a sense, really, again, that this is a war going on, which when I was a kid, watching the original Star Wars movies, the war part of it didn't mean a lot to me. Now it does, and I think the movie knows that and chooses to emphasize it in really interesting ways. So he's got that big picture, and then he's also paying attention to the small picture, the way the character stories weave in and out, to the growth and the evolution of those characters. Each and every one of them, I shouldn't say every one of them, but so many of them have these very distinct and clear storylines. There's a clarity to it, and yet still a depth to it. It's really great storytelling, and I was very captivated by it. Another thing I loved about this movie, there were so many cool moments here. Moments that gave me goosebumps, moments that brought tears to my eyes, moments that surprised me, moments that I wanted to cheer for, all of which you need in a Star Wars movie, and it has them over and over and over again. I was flipping from, being shocked by this twist to enjoying this, moment with this character, and there's twists and double twists and backflips and kick flips into grinds, and I don't even know what any of that means. All I know is this movie took me on a journey, and I experienced it, and I love when a movie can do that. One of the reasons that all of that can work so well is because of the performances here. I talked about it in The Force Awakens. What a great new cast of people. I think I focused more on Daisy Ridley there and her Rey character, which again is great here. And Finn is wonderful. BB-8, of course, is cute and adorable. The Porgs are adorable. Chewie's great, but you know who I want to focus on? Adam Driver. Man, is he good as Kylo Ren. He comes into his own in this movie, and he has moments upon moments upon moments where his character is 3 layers deep and you are feeling all of it. I am really impressed with this dude. He has just put in great performance after great performance, and this is another one. Driver's great here. Yeah, I loved it. I had such a good time at this movie. I love Star Wars movies. And of course, we'll see how it holds up on a second or third viewing. But I do want to give the one negative. And actually, it's still going to be a caution because honestly, it didn't mess with me that much, but I think it might with some. The humor here is very different. You remember when I was talking about the expectations and how Ryan Johnson subverts those expectations in a lot of what we expect to happen? I think it's kind of the same with the humor. He's using humor to surprise us by subverting our expectations and where the humor comes from. Now, without spoiling anything, it's kind of hard to get specific, so I won't, other than to say the humor feels very different here. And if it feels off to you, it may distract you, set you off, and you may not enjoy the ride as much. For me, I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I didn't care that it was a shift in style of humor, as long as I thought it was funny when he wanted to be funny. And I think it succeeded in that realm. Overall, I feel like The Last Jedi is another great Star Wars movie. Takes its place right among the best of them. I gave it a very solid A-. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, I want to let you know that you can connect further with me on Twitter, Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Would love to hang out with you there. We can also connect on YouTube here. Feel free to comment, subscribe. Just about 40 subscribers away from that 2,000 mark. If you want to help put me over there, you're watching this video, you're thinking, I've actually never subscribed. I've watched a few of his reviews. Why don't you just hit the subscribe button? Even if it doesn't mean much to you, it can help other people find the channel. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. Maybe we can get up to 2,000 by the end of the year. Listen to the podcast if you want. It's called SiftPop if you do the podcast thing. SiftPop. We'll be talking about Star Wars this week. And support at Patreon. Thank you so much for those who do that. It starts at $3 a month, and plenty of people there hanging out, giving dollar bills to me to do this. It's absolutely mind-blowing and humbling. Thank you for doing that. If you're interested to see what the perks are, kind of the fun stuff we got going there in that community, we just had one of our patron hangouts, which I really love. You can do that at patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. All right, on to the Best Ever Challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best movie ever that has the word last in the title? So we've got The Last Jedi. Aside from that one, what's the best movie ever with the word last in the title? For mine, I'm going to have to say the one that you will get correct as long as you choose wisely. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point, as always. Here's a few extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click my face.